Hello everybody. So I did a video a few moments ago, and for whatever the reason, the voice isn't working. Like one video the voice will work and the next video it won't, so I'll just trust that that video wasn't supposed to be put out there. So I figured I'd allow myself to be the vessel of inspiration for whatever it is that's supposed to come forward. And I think predominantly what I wanted to share is that there isn't many separate truths. There isn't your separate truth and my separate truth. There's only one. And this one truth we share together. And that is what enables us to recognize that we share one mind, to truly heal our mind, and to co-create with one another once we've learned. And before we have learned the distinction between our ego and our divine thoughts, whatever life presents us with is an opportunity of growth and an opportunity to learn from what it is that you've experienced. So these experiences come into our life, and we can tell if it's coming from our right mind and if it's a true experience by how we feel. And a lot of the time, how we feel is our compass to bring us back home. So anytime we feel a little bit of uncomfortableness, we feel, not at ease, we feel afraid, we feel judged, we feel any of this, our experience is showing us that this is what we're believing about ourselves in our own mind, that we could possibly be judged, that we could possibly be harmed, that we could possibly be hurt or, suffer in any way. Because in reality, we are whole, healed, and perfect. In reality, we all share this one mind with each other and with God, and can co-create infinitely much, infinitely. But when we're here in form, we have accepted so many beliefs about ourselves that are untrue that we become confused as to what is truth and what is illusion based on the teachings of this world. And what we're learning is that the teachings of this world aren't necessarily always wholly true. They can have a portion of truth in there, but then it also tends to be wrapped up with untruth. And what makes it easy to understand is that truth is all giving, truth is all loving, truth is extension, right? Truth is the peace of God. And untruth, unreality, is the duality of this world, is what we think we are in form, is anything that has to do with fear or suffering at all whatsoever, because we originally felt inspired, for whatever funny reason, to experience what it would be like to be separate from each other and God, and that's the experience we have here in form. And so after thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, we've built up this mind that is pure illusion, and we now perceive this world through this illusory mind and believe it to be real. And that's how we are all dreaming, and that's how we're all sleeping, because we are imagining it. God's children are imagining it, and we are all God's children. And so we're in this imagination, we're in this hallucination, and we're believing that this dream is real. Okay? And I'm seeing it much like, you have a little child who has a nightmare. They wake up in the morning having this nightmare, freaking out. We wouldn't go there and get mad at them for having a nightmare. We wouldn't go over there and laugh at them because they believed that the nightmare was real when they were in it. But we simply are there to meet them where they are and to love them and to remind them that what they thought was real is not real, and therefore you can be happy and grateful that you're here where you are today and everything's okay. It's the same thing with every person, right? Because we believe the dream that we're dreaming is real. And because we believe the dream that we're dreaming is real, then we believe that the pain and the suffering is real too. But what we're learning is that the pain and the suffering is not real, and that this world that we call our home is not our home. And therefore we can let go of both sides of the coin, what we call good, what we call bad, what we think we want, what we think we don't want, what we think is right, what we think is wrong, and drop all judgments. Because once judgments are all released from our mind is when we become open and ready to receive the truth. I just did a talk that is probably up there now, Let Me Be Still and Listen to the Truth, right? We all have the truth within us, and this truth is the same, right? This truth is that we are eternal beings of light, that we are whole, healed, and perfect, and nothing can go wrong. And if we've perceived that something has gone wrong in our life, in our experience, in our world, it's because truly we are making shit up. And I had this experience that I shared also, and I think, I don't even know what I called it, like divine healing, right? Because that's what I received. I received a divine healing the moment that I recognized that I wasn't feeling in alignment with myself, that I wasn't feeling peaceful. I was almost feeling grouchy, the face slouches, the jaw drops, your eyes sag. It's almost like the light sucked out of you because you're believing in something that is not true. And that happened to me over the last couple days. And you really get to experience the difference between being in your ego mind and being in your divine mind. And it's drastically different. And so what we're learning is to have these experiences in these episodes in the ego mind. Recognize that that is all that it is. It's an illusion of mind. And therefore we don't know how to get ourselves out of it because we chose for ourselves to be here. And so because we don't know how to get out of it, we can trust this divine teacher within to hand over these thoughts of the ego to it so it can be undone and reinterpreted in our mind, and a correction is given us. The miracle is given us. Our true thoughts are given us. Okay? And upon receiving these true thoughts, this is how these light thoughts, illuminate our mind. And upon illuminating our mind, we continue to have experiences of ego where we can recognize that that is all that it is and ask for correction again. So one by one, we're undoing the ego mind until we get to the point where we're done undoing it one by one and we let go of the whole thing. So I'm just going to share a mini parable here because it's coming in my mind, so why not? But think of yourself wearing a big fleecy jacket. Okay, you're about ready to run through the forest. So you run through the forest with this fleecy jacket on, and you end up getting those little burrs. You know the burrs that have little pricks on them that stick to your clothes, and it's really hard to pick them off? Okay, so you're running through the forest, and you get all these burrs on your jacket, and it's collecting all over this fur jacket. You get to the other side of the forest, right? And you realize, I have all these burrs on my jacket that I don't want here. I've collected them along my way. And so you start picking them off one by one, one by one. And this would be like our individual thoughts, wants, goals, ideas, beliefs, judgments, opinions, fears, frustrations. We think there's so many when we look at them like that, right? But then a thought can come to the mind that must be of divine inspiration, because the one that's looking at the little burrs, it seems to be so much. And so instead, you have the thought, instead of taking off the burrs one by one, I'm just going to take off the whole jacket. And you take off the whole jacket and you're free. So this parable is almost like the same thing that can almost be relayed to us for our everyday lives, right? That it's not up to us to go in our mind and think we know what's wrong and try and fix what we think is wrong. Instead, it's a recognition that we don't know what the problem is and we don't know what the solution is. Therefore, we're open to all of it. And when we're open to all of it is when we are shown truth in our mind and we receive truth in our mind, and that's how we drop the whole jacket, right? That's how we literally almost make a quantum leap into the mind of the infinite instead of the mind of the limited, right? And so we want to be able to experience this in our everyday lives so that we can experience what truth is from within us and not think that truth is something outside of us or different for each of us, or believe that what the ego tells us is true. Because the ego wants to manipulate us, because that's what it is. It's basically an illusion. It's a hallucination, and we've given it power over these years, and now we're learning not to give it its power anymore, but to listen to a completely new voice. And this completely new voice is the voice for love, is the Holy Spirit, is the one mind that we share, right? So it's not about just saying nice words of spirituality and oneness, but of being it, right? It's being who we are. It's accepting these truths for ourselves and sharing it. And as we give it, we receive it. So it's not about the take of the ego. This is what I want to get. This is where I want to go. This is where I want to travel. This is what I want to have. This is the type of house I want to have. This is the type of mate I want to have. We don't know. We don't know what we want. We don't know what we need to have. We don't know where we're supposed to go. We don't know what type of mate we're supposed to have. So we need to let go of thinking that we know. And the moment we let go of thinking that we know and let go of thinking that we need to take off one little burr at a time, is when the truth can dawn on our mind in wholeness, because the truth is whole, it's not split, right? And that truth can be given us. So I don't know. I guess that's just what I wanted to share today, because the truth is one and the same for all of us. And so as we continue to go within and ask, it will be given. So just let yourself step aside, let yourself sink into the heart, and let yourself know that you know nothing at all, but there's a voice within you that will remind you of this truth, and this reminder will literally be just an awakening, a remembrance of the truth of what we really are and what God is and why we're here and what our purpose is for being here. So these questions do have answers, and we just have to let ourselves be silent enough and still enough to hear it. So I trust this voice in all of you. If I didn't, I'd be screwed. We'd all be screwed. So I've had too many miraculous experiences to deny it. So communication is key, my brothers and sisters. Open up to communicate with yourself through word, through yourself through spoken word, through yourself through written word, through others by just sharing it, and know that, you know, as we release all judgments and expectations and ideas from our own mind, then we are open to the infinite, jumping out of the limited and opening to whatever is possible for the highest good of everyone. Not just the self, but everyone. So that's what we're here for. So I'll say goodbye now. I love you all.